Hello everyone, this is Lomi, and today I'll be doing a face-up on this Fairyland Fairyline A-line event head. That's a mouthful. I'll be doing a couple things differently today. For one, I'm abandoning watercolor pencils and going back to paint since I seem to do better with those. And I'm also going to be trying to do this video unscripted. I usually script my videos because I'm not a very good speaker and I spend a lot of time stuttering and getting tongue-tied, so I apologize if I do any of that during this video. I'm also going to take some time to talk about the materials I'm using as I'm doing this face-up. I get a lot of questions about materials, especially my brushes, so I'll try to answer those as we go along. Today I'm actually using some new paint brushes. Those are these brown-handled ones you see at the beginning here. These are Reaper Fine Detail brushes for Reaper Wargaming miniatures. A set of 3 of them is about $15. They come in 3 different sizes. The first one you see is a size 10-0, the second is a 20-0, and this really tiny one is a 30-0, and it's so small. Even though I use my script liner for eyebrows and eyelashes most of the time and I've been happy with it, there are some places, like inside the eyelid creases, where I have trouble getting those long bristles. Having something shorter gives more control, and I'm already pretty happy with how those are working. Once I start the eyebrows, I go back to my trusty Low Cornell script liner. This is a size 18-0 brush, and you can get it at Michael's. It's actually my most expensive brush, and I think it was about $12. But I used to work there, so I always got things for a lot cheaper than most people can. I'm already glad I decided to go back to paint instead of fighting with watercolor pencils for the brows and the lashes. Paint has always worked better for me, but I just wanted to experiment. I always laugh when I hear people talking about making the eyebrows match, because I always end up liking the second eyebrow better, and I have to go back to make the first one match it. As you can see, I have 2 of the script liner brushes. It's really handy when you're using 2 different colors of paint, like for this face-up, where I'm using brown for the eyebrows and black for the lashes. I use a wet cotton swab to soften some of the lines that go on a little heavier than I want, but I'm having some trouble with my brush right now, and it's because as they get older you tend to get these really tiny little hairs off the tip that are a bit longer than all the rest of the bristles. I'm actually going to trim that one hair off, and that's already working better for me. I'll use a Reaper brush again to do the eyeliner, and then I switch to doing blushing. I usually do my paint in one layer, and I do that before I do the pastels. I honestly have no idea what the brushes I use for pastels are. I picked 2 based on the shape, but they were in a clearance bin for about $1 when I bought them. Any big soft brush will work for this. For the lips and the blushing along the eyelashes, I use a chisel blender. This is a Royal Langnickel brush. It's a size 4, and they cost about $5. This is one of my standard brushes for face-ups. For eyebrows, I'm using a really inexpensive brush that I got off of Wish. It's an eyeshadow brush, or maybe an eyebrow brush, but it came in a set of makeup brushes that was about $2 plus shipping, And even though it was really cheap, it works really well for eyebrows. And I mean, that's kind of what it was made for. I use an eraser to help shape the eyebrows, and this was something that it took me a long time to learn. I always thought that people just magically got these perfectly shaped pastel brows, and it wasn't until I saw some work in progress pictures and noticed the eraser on the desk that I realized other people actually use erasers to help shape them. I do some of the shaping with the eraser, but I also use a piece of eye putty, which helps pick up extra pastel dust, and it can also remove the shavings from the eraser. The brushes that you see that have the plain light-colored wooden handle are Artist's Loft brushes from Michaels. They were in a big package that was about $10 for maybe 20 brushes in a brush roll, but it was on clearance at the time, so I think it's usually a little more expensive. They aren't great brushes, but they are handy to have, especially when I'm using a lot of different colors. Even though this is a simple face-up, I am using a lot of different colors in it. I'm using 2 different colors of peach and 2 colors of pink that I've mixed together to do the blushing around his face. I'm using 3 or 4 different shades of brown to go around the eyes and on the eyebrows, and the lips are a mixture of pinks and browns and even a little bit of purple. The eyeshadow also has some gray and some black in it to add some really deep shadow. I know everything looks a bit more yellow in this video, and I apologize for that. I was recording while the sun was setting, so everything in the room was kind of golden. And after I put some gloss on the lips, I think he's done. One issue I encountered with the doll that you can see in these finished pictures is the very last coat of sealant went on kind of grainy. That's because the humidity level rose as I was finishing the sealant. Fortunately, since this is the last layer, that can be fixed. He'll get a quick scrubbing with a magic eraser sponge and another coat of sealant in the morning when the humidity is lower. But for right now, he looks a little dusty. And that's all for today. If you have any questions about materials that I didn't answer in this video, leave a comment below and I'll try to get to them in the next face-up video. Thanks for watching! Bye!